What is up, everybody? Welcome to Apocaflix Now.
I am your host, Jacob Bartley,
and this is our main movie show where we talk about all bunch of crazy stuff that Keith can't predict. But we are going to talk about Invisible Man today, and I haven't seen it. I'm the only one who hasn't seen it. Keith and Brian have.
It's out for
Jake
12
has seen
hours.
it as well, but Jake Berlin is actually not here today. He won't be joining us today, but it's okay. We got this in his absence. I will be engineering and hosting, I suppose. But as you can see, we have Mr. Brian Avalosino in the house. What is up, Brian?
I'm ready to go. Ready to talk about Invisible Man without spoilers, Jacob.
So is Jake technically the Invisible Man?
He's invisible.
Right now? Because he's not here. He's actually here. Yeah. Oh well, there
Jake?
he is.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Keith Barnes, how you doing, man?
I'm great. I'm doing pretty good. I got to see a movie in the middle of the day today, which I never get to do.
That is incredible.
That's right. That's right.
I miss those days. All right. Well, let's jump into it. The Blumhouse Invisible Man latest monster movie. Is it still a Universal film?
It's Universal.
Yeah, but Blumhouse produced it?
I don't know if it's yes.
Yeah. Okay. And we were just talking about this movie. It has a $7 million budget, and it's tracking very well. So it is gonna at least maybe quadruple that this opening weekend. Yeah, for sure.
Or if not more, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. No, probably more.
It could make like 60.
So what did you guys think?
I loved it.
Yeah, it's very good.
Loved it.
And so, Brian, you are not a big horror guy. And it is a horror. This is a horror movie.
Yes.
What are you talking about, Brian?
Horror?
No, it is.
Yes.
Totally.
It's absolutely a horror movie.
Listen,
Brian,
thriller. It was
this is a horror film.
Scare.
It's not horror. It's nothing. Just
Brian,
I don't mind.
A slasher film is not a horror film. It is, but I'm saying that's
but see,
not the
here's the
only
thing.
type of thing.
It kind of is a little bit of slasher.
No, I just don't mind. I don't mind a horror movie as long as it's not. I just don't like. I'm gonna chase you with a knife and kill you. I'm going to make sure I stab you 37
that's
times.
That's not the only thing a horror movie is.
No,
though.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, could you technically classify A Quiet Place? No,
it is a horror.
Okay,
Quiet Place is a horror.
Okay,
film.
so then I love that movie.
I don't think it is.
No, it definitely is.
I think it's more of a suspense thriller.
It is a science fiction horror monster movie.
I guess.
In my opinion.
Okay,
I guess that's subjective.
The only type of horror I don't like is slashers.
Supernatural stuff?
Very gory
slashers.
Stuff.
I just don't. Okay. I don't need to see someone get slashed 100 times and then hung up on a ceiling or something, some stupid like that. Where I'm just okay, that's enough. You killed the person. You don't need to keep going.
Yeah.
I got you. But I love a good jump scare. Quiet Place, love a good jump scare. Love a suspenseful sitting where it's absolutely quiet, and then boom, and then you're like, oh my god!
There's a lot of that in this.
And,
there were a lot of moments. There's a good stretch of about maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 minutes where there's back-to-back scenes where it's completely quiet. It's just her, just peering around a corner, or looking behind a door or something, or just and
you're waiting for
there's something.
You're son of a,
it's there.
It's coming.
You're okay, he's there.
When is it coming?
There's a lot of the camera, great use of camera work, because it's Invisible Man, so the camera just cuts to just what's seemingly an empty room. He's standing right there. But all this stuff is in the trailer, so it's the movie's called Invisible Man, so you know what it's going on. But
trailers don't spoil anything.
No,
the trailers are done really well. I was hopefully they don't spoil anything in the trailers.
Yeah, I watched the trailer after I saw it, because I only saw it the one time, we were just talking off air. I saw it the one time when we reviewed it a few months back. But after that, I haven't watched anything about any kind of promos or anything. So I watched the trailer afterwards, and then totally, it doesn't give away nearly what a lot of trailers do now. Yeah. And I had no idea that was until about midway through the movie. Or near the end, that's Storm Reed, the daughter, is Storm Reed from
she's from Wrinkle in Time.
Wrinkle in Time, yes.
Wrinkle in Time?
Yes.
Okay,
oh my gosh,
and she was great.
She was great.
To Brian a little bit,
and she's super. Yes, and she's Boy, did she grow up?
That's good. Yeah.
She got tall. She towers over Elizabeth Moss. Like she's
Really?
super tall.
She's that
Yeah.
grown up? Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't know who the father was, but
I didn't recognize him.
liked
I should have. Yeah, he was really good too.
He was pretty cool. But I really enjoyed the cast.
Yes.
Elizabeth Moss.
What a performance.
She was great.
She really was.
And she, a lot of the time, was just acting to nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if someone was in the room maybe when she's yelling at nothing.
I don't think so.
But if she's doing that, just screaming at nothing.
Yeah, she's got to imagine it all in her head because that's what the character's kind of doing. So
very I believed.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, right.
So it was. She did a great job. It was a great job.
And it's certainly just it gets the tension sets up immediately. First shot of the movie, first scene in the movie. I mean, the tension's set up right away.
Yeah, because you're like, what's going on?
It's one of the most tense openings to a movie I've ever seen. Remember how tense? Like I think back to Inglourious Basterds. You know how tense that scene was, that opening scene.
Yes,
there's
a scene like that.
It's like very much like that, but
that's awesome.
where you're just like, oh god, okay, something's gonna happen.
I feel so left out that I haven't seen this. I'm so excited for it, and I just haven't had the time to see it. But I am gonna see it this weekend. So.
Totally, yeah, 100%. This movie's right up your alley, man.
I'm probably gonna go watch that and Sonic this weekend.
There you go.
Because I was thinking about seeing Sonic this weekend too. Because Jake said he saw it and he was like, I wanted to see a sequel, and I was like, wow.
Wait, he went to Sonic?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay,
and
cool.
If he's saying he wants to see a sequel, then clearly he enjoyed it. But yeah, do you see the preview for Candyman for it?
Yes, I actually watched that this morning.
That's one of our topics today.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Sorry.
Yes, I noticed that too. Yeah, it's okay. But
yeah.
I will say this, and it's totally this movie. Which a thing I didn't see coming. You kind of know it from the trailers, but obviously he was an abusive husband situation.
Yeah, they kind of
they show that in the trailer.
Yeah,
right.
Pick up that there's something going on.
It's pretty bad, and she certainly does a good job portraying that trauma.
She did great.
You really, really feel like I've spent a lot of the movie going, God, I feel so bad for her. Well, a lot of women really go through this sort of thing, and for her, must have the courage to do what she did, and. So certainly there's a lot of that. Like if you're anybody, if you've experienced that or anything like that, it might be a little tough to watch in that sense.
Yeah,
but
well, that makes it even scarier because it's some random
person
that they don't even know trying to kill them.
Yeah,
and this is the guy who abused her, who's haunting her,
and
which is
fully controlled
crazy,
her, and he's still doing it after his death. So
if I will say this, everything it wasn't wonky. Like you were just like,
no, not at all.
Oh no, okay.
Yeah,
it was done very well, very well. It wasn't just like, oh, of course it's
believable. Like you said, believable. It's totally believable.
So I think that's why I liked it so much because it wasn't so like, oh, he used a magic spray and. Now he can appear and not appear whenever he thinks about. Like it wasn't something stupid.
Yeah.
It was done well.
It was set up well, like I said, right, and right from the beginning as well. You see all the stuff that he was doing, and so you're like, okay, that's what that was. Okay, so it's great. I can't wait for you to see it, man. Really
awesome. Well, we're definitely going to talk about it. Well, since The Invisible Man is a classic monster, classic Universal monster, and this is perfect timing because I'm currently in a horror film class, and we are we're watching. It's actually an English class, but it's where you watch movies and write about them. And we've been going through a lot of the classic Universal horror films and just a lot of classic horror films throughout history. And this couldn't have come at a better time because some of the movies that we've been watching are absolutely incredible. But the thing is, we haven't, like Keith and I, for example, we haven't really talked much about horror, or any of us have. It's not something that we focus on too much. And you guys have named me the horror guy, which
you named yourself.
No, I did not. You guys started calling me that.
Yeah, and you're the first one in the door at anything Blumhouse or scary.
And I think it's because I was always the most excited about them. I was always talking about them the most. So
you're more willing to see them, I think, than
even ones that don't look that good because you never know when there have been some that don't look great and then they turn out to be great. So I want to go to you, Keith, first.
Cell phone one.
You were trying to get what was that? The unfriend? No,
Countdown.
Countdown.
Yeah.
That looks. See, I will go. I went and watched some dumb horror movies, but I will not go watch that movie. So I want to go to you, Keith, and this is not necessarily our favorite horror movies. This is our favorite monster movies. Even though he's considered a monster, the Invisible Man isn't he a monster.
Well, he's part of that. The Universal monsters.
But age.
Yeah,
he's not really a monster physically.
There have been several versions of that. The Invisible Man story.
Oh well.
So
usually he's in the wrap and everything,
and that's the hat
like
and the glasses and the
like some type of creature. Okay, Keith. So let's go to you, man. What is your favorite? Maybe your favorite monster movie of all time, or your one you want to talk about?
See, I don't really do a lot of these, to be honest. I think
and it doesn't have to be classic Universal.
Jake told me his prediction for you, but go ahead.
Oh, I'm curious.
I'll tell you afterwards.
What do you think, Jake? Think you know me?
Like
think you know what you probably
movie.
I can tell you what he's probably right. I can tell you it's 1999's The Mummy. Is that mine.
Yours?
Oh yeah.
Oh no, he picked Alien.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I don't look at that as I guess so.
We can
sci-fi alien.
That,
I guess so. Yeah, I wouldn't really because it's one. He knows how much I love that movie.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you know me, Jake. But but no, as far as that kind of stuff though, I would consider that more sci-fi than monsters, but I guess so. But
I thought you were gonna go after maybe something like The Blob or.
I saw The Blob when I was a kid. The Birds is pretty crazy. The Hitchcock one.
Yeah.
No, I would go with The Mummy. Yeah, the 99 is The Mummy.
Great. I'm glad
love
you
that
said
movie.
I love that movie.
I love that movie. I saw it in the theater. Brendan Fraser, great in this movie. A bunch of people that we know now. Rachel Weisz.
Yeah. So gorgeous in that movie.
Yeah, she is. She's super thin eyebrows. It's very funny. Anyway, that doesn't matter. But I don't know why I pay attention to that. Yeah, that movie's got everything. It's got a lot. It's so much fun. Arnold Vosloo, the actor that plays the Mummy. Yeah,
so good.
He was really good.
And that Imhotep. I was a kid when it came out. That movie's scary.
Sure.
Oh, absolutely.
It is. It's very tense. Yeah, I could see that.
You couldn't have pulled me into that movie to save my life.
I showed it to my kids maybe 2 years ago. Very recently, in the last couple of years, and they loved it. They thought it was a lot of fun. It's funny. Got a lot of funny moments, and it's really enjoyable. I like the setting. Set back in the early to mid 20s, I think it is. And yeah, I really enjoy that movie. I actually don't mind the second one as well. It's basically the same, but it
started to turn into
King.
Well, that's after
the Mummy 3,
right? No, it's on 2.
Is it in number 2?
It opens up number 2.
Yeah.
And then they made a third one, but then they did the Scorpion King as well, separate. Yeah, but yeah, that was actually pretty good. That's The Rock's very first movie too, Mummy Returns. But except for the horrible CG at the end, which is awful. But
crazy.
But yes, it's the worst. It is some of the worst stuff you've ever seen. I actually just watched a video about that. Apparently, they just threw that all together at the last minute, like a week before the movie came out. Yeah, right. Totally. But the first one to me is a classic. I really enjoy it.
I love that movie. I think it's underrated.
Big sand face.
A lot of people don't.
The
don't talk about it. Yeah.
So that's in the that's in the second one. See, that's one of the things that the second one did, where it's like they just remade. You're right. See, they did stuff like that in the second one, where it's like, okay, they're just doing all the same stuff. But all those beetles they're just tearing up flesh-eating beetles in the tomb there and stuff. And it's a really fun movie, man. I really enjoy The Mummy. So Steven Sommers directed too, so pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good one. Hey Keith, can you pull your mic a little bit closer to your mouth?
Yes.
I know.
There you go. No, I didn't even think about that movie, but I love that movie, and The Mummy is considered one of the classic Universal monsters, and it's way better than the Tom Cruise one that they made.
100%. 100%. I liked her. Sophia.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh yeah. Sophia,
whatever. I'm sorry, Butella. Yeah, Sophia. I thought she was really good.
I loved her.
She was great.
Yeah, I think
the whole movie.
I kind of think that one's kind of supposed to be a continuation, because that same book from the '99 one is in this one. We saw that together.
I think so. Yeah.
Me, you, and Gio.
With Gio, yeah.
Yeah. No, exactly. But because they do a big sand face in that one as well. So
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. All right, Brian.
No, I want you to go now.
The horror guy. Why?
I want to say mine for them.
Oh, okay. All right. It's gonna be Avengers: Infinity War. Thanos is his monster. I guess that could count, right?
Or do you want me to go next?
I'll go. Like I said, I've been I do. There's a lot of horror movies that I love, and I actually watched this movie as a kid, but I rewatched it in my horror class recently, and it is so good. And that is Bride of Frankenstein. I don't know if anyone has seen it.
Never seen Bride of Frankenstein.
Bride of Frankenstein is incredible, even for the time that it came out. It came out in 1935, and obviously this is black and white.
Right.
And the first Frankenstein movie was obviously a huge hit, and it's good, but it's very kind of it's just not as good as the second one. And then in Bride of Frankenstein, you have this other. So Frankenstein, obviously, Frankenstein is the doctor is the scientist who creates Frankenstein, right?
Yeah, right.
So in the sequel, there's another doctor,
Frankenstein,
who's obsessed with what he did and is trying to recreate it, but he can't figure it out. So this other doctor has been creating little mini people, and they show it in the movie.
Really?
And he has like these little mini people in these like cases, and it's so weird, but it's just creepy. And then he's telling Frankenstein, look, I mastered them. They're like, look like and walk and talk like real humans, but you got the size right. So we could work together and create another one. And the whole thing is,
I'm so lost.
They're trying to create, because you weren't listening yet when I first
Do they
started
move
talking.
around? Do they like?
No, I'm just.
Do they
Yeah,
actually?
they do. The little mini people. So basically, this other doctor's trying to recreate what Frankenstein did, but he can only
You can make
create
small ones.
mini people, and they're like in these cases. But
Are they alive?
so basically, they're using both their skills to create another one, and the whole point is they want to create a bride for Frankenstein, because at this point, Frankenstein, he's basically almost a victim in both movies, because he's just walking around like a big dumb kid almost, and he's just accidentally killing people at first, and then they start attacking him. So in Bride of Frankenstein, there's like in the middle of the movie, he gets lost and he stumbles upon this old man's house, and he stays with the old man for several days and starts to learn how to speak and eat and all these things. And then by the end of the movie, the ending's so good because Frankenstein basically the monster sacrifices himself to save the scientist, the original scientist.
Oh wow!
While and the other scientist is the bad guy of that movie. And you guys have seen The Bride of Frankenstein, what she looks like. She's like with the big hair and the white streak. Right. So that movie is really great, and it's not just a dumb old movie. It's actually, when I watched it, I was like, wow, this is
black and white.
Yeah. I was thinking this is a great movie. So and I remember watching it as a kid. I don't know how or why my parents used to put them on. And I liked it back then. It was the one I always remembered. Yeah. And then when I watched it as an adult, I was like, this is so solid. So that's my choice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Actually, does sound interesting. I never knew any of that.
You have to watch the first one to watch the second one, I would say, but I recommend it. They're only like an hour and 10 minutes long.
Exactly. I've seen
the movies are so short back then.
Right.
So that's I highly recommend watching both if you get a chance.
I've seen the first one,
original,
where he throws a little girl in the lake. Which you feel for him for a lot of it, but and it's like he didn't mean to do that necessarily, but he just. But anyway,
and the thing is, they play on all that stuff in the second one, which was even better.
Right.
Fair enough.
Cool.
All right, Brian, the horror guy. No, just kidding. What is your choice for favorite monster movie?
Mine is very atypical of me, and mine is going to be Monsters Inc.
Oh wow! I did not expect that.
When I was going through it, I asked Jake. I went, "Can I pick Monsters Inc.?" And he goes, "Yeah." Okay. And so I was
that is a monster movie. Wow.
It is a monster
movie. It counts. I'm not going to argue that.
They scare people and...
Exactly. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Who doesn't love Monsters, Inc.? Like, it's such a...
It's my top 2 or 3 Pixar movies.
Right? And to be honest, I love the sequel. And
me too. It's very good.
A lot of people were like, "Oh, yeah, the sequel's good." I love the sequel.
Yeah.
Sometimes, depending on my mood, I might like the sequel more than the original one, just because of how funny and perfect it is. But I love that movie. It's so genius how they went, like, yeah, monsters are real. They're scary. They come out of they hide in the closet. They scare you under the bed and all this, but they're doing it for a purpose.
It's such a great concept.
It's a brilliant concept, and
they're doing it for energy.
Exactly.
It's their energy. That's how they power their world.
Yeah,
it's great.
Literally, the end of it is, well, it's not. You don't need to be scared. You can. Laughter does the same exact thing. Like it's so smart.
Yeah.
Like the people that thought of it is just so. It's beyond anything I could even think of. But it's just it's the perfect monster movie. If you know me, like it's like Brian would have picked that one. So
I didn't even think about that, and it totally makes sense that you picked it. And I like how different our choices are. We got kind of a modern, actual horror monster movie in The Mummy, which incredible. One of the original classics, and then Brian's Pixar animated monster film. And the thing is, maybe it's not scary to us as an adult, but if you're like 4 years old and watching Monsters Inc., you're probably scared at some points.
Right.
So it counts. It doesn't matter what age it scares you at. If it scares you, it's has horror elements, definitely. For sure.
For the record, I was not scared of Monsters Inc.
Well, you probably were older when you watched it.
It was same year. Yeah. Came out same year as mine, 99, I think.
Is it 99?
Monsters Inc., or maybe 2000.
I was going to say 01, but that seems too far ahead. Either way, I was probably around like 10 something. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's funny because I thought you would pick the older one, the more classic. You would pick the more modern one, and then me just being the random one.
Well, apparently, I mean, I know mine is a remake of one of those classic 30s ones. Those Universal Monsters movies with, The Mummy and Hit Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Invisible Man. There was an Invisible Man back then as well. Yeah, all that stuff. Whatever Dracula movie was out, I'm sure there was probably, even by then, there was probably 10 of them.
Oh, probably, yeah. I'm surprised. Well, I said to Jake, I thought Jacob would have picked Underworld, but Jake was like, "No, that's mine."
Was that Jake's choice?
I don't remember specifically what his choice was, if he even told me. But yeah,
interesting. So, we have a couple comments in the comment section. Gio's in the comment section.
Hey, Gio.
Hey Brian, is your mic blinking? No, it's on.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. So Gio said director Stephen Sommers did a great job with The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. Turns Fraser into a blockbuster star.
He was huge back then. That is true.
I know he was, but I love Brendan Fraser, I really do, and I loved him back then. It's just I'd love to see him kind of come back, but he did a lot of silly stuff as well, but he's one of those guys that can do everything.
Yeah.
So
George of the Jungle,
that's what I'm saying.
Those Looney Tunes
yes.
movies.
That's what I mean.
To me, as a kid, he was one of the biggest.
That's what I'm saying. He did a lot of great, kid stuff.
Especially those mummy movies.
Yeah.
I always liked him in the one where he had the wishes and Elizabeth Hurley was the devil.
I love that movie.
Bedazzled.
I love that movie.
I freaking love that movie so much.
So do
That's a great movie.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's also a remake, but I love that movie.
It is a remake, yeah.
There were a lot of times when I would see it on TV and I was like,
when he's the Colombian drug lord.
Yeah.
I do love that movie. That's very good.
It's so ridiculous, but it's great.
Yeah.
That was right.
That is a great
height of when he was in his stardom, if you will.
He's great on Scrubs. I was a big Scrubs fan. He was great on there, and
Alrighty, well
said, Gio. Good call.
Before we move on to some movie news topics, I want to tell you guys a little bit about our podcast channels. If you have not already, you can find us on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you find podcasts. You can just look us up at Apocaflix Movies. All of our big shows are included, including Apocaflix Now, Padawan, Nerd, Casting Call, and our Star Wars review special, The Fandalorian, where we recently just reviewed Clone Wars, the Season 7, Episode 2. And that was a fun discussion. So go ahead and check that out. You can hear me, Brian, and Jake talk about that. And I guess I'm going to myself for the movie news rundown this week. So we got a lot of stuff, a lot of big stuff to talk about today. We have the Jurassic World 3 getting its official title, Jurassic World Dominion. We have Bob Iger stepping down as Disney's CEO, and a successor has been named, Bob Chapek. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. We also have Creed 3 is moving forward with a new writer being brought on board. Apparently, Steven Spielberg is moving on from directing Indiana Jones 5, and James Mangold, the director of Logan and Ford v Ferrari, is going to be taking over. And we also have the first trailer for Candyman, the Jordan Peele produced, directed by Nia DaCosta. So, Brian, I want to go to you first. Out of all these topics, what excites you the most?
I don't know if it excites me the most, but I would definitely want to talk about Candyman. Which is funny because, again, I'm not the horror-y person, but Jordan Peele makes only good things, or is a part of only good things, and saw the trailer before Invisible Man, and whoever he uses, if it's either him or one of his co-worker, whoever you are that makes the song, takes a song and makes it into his trailers.
The Say My Name thing?
You're a genius. I got 5 on it with Us. Now you're doing Say My Name with Candyman. You are a genius, sir or madam. And yeah. I don't know. I was reading like the synopsis. Like, I've never seen the original, but it does intrigue me. And I probably...
It's not surprising that Brian hasn't seen the originals.
Yeah.
But I honestly will probably go see it.
Check it out. It's pretty good.
Will.
Yeah.
You saw the trailer before?
Yes, I did. Yeah. The original. And I wonder if this is it a sequel to that? Yeah, I wonder.
I'm not sure.
Virginia Madsen in the original.
It might be, because they were saying, like, this area was shut down and stuff, so maybe. I
haven't seen. I think I was in high school when it came out. I don't think I've seen it, and I don't remember last time I saw that, so I have to watch that again. But I do want to see it, but I don't know.
Need to see it a little more.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yes. It's interesting that what's his name?
Yahya Abdul Mateen II?
Right.
I believe that's right.
I really like him. Obviously, if you Watchmen, if you're not going to spoil that, but man, that didn't.
He's great.
Black Manta.
He's great in Watchmen,
but he's great in Watchmen,
and he's great
absolutely
in Aquaman. Even though his performance is great in Aquaman,
it's a little
that scene in the beginning with his dad.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, that's good. He was a little too cartoonish. I don't think it's necessarily his fault.
But the thing is, I think he was being asked to do that.
Well, that's why I just said I don't think it was necessarily his fault.
While
but
James Wan is a fantastic director, that's obviously some stuff that he did wrong in Aquaman, which we all talked about. I am Black Manta.
All that stuff. Yeah, a little. But he's great though. I mean, he's obviously Watchmen. He's awesome, and so I'm curious to see where this one's going. It looks like is he supposed to be related?
Yeah,
to him,
there's going to be some type of twist.
Because he's like turning into Candyman for some reason.
Yeah, that was the vibe I was kind of getting. That maybe he might be turning into Candyman. But I don't know.
Yeah, maybe the Candyman's trying to find him somebody to take over.
To channel, trying to channel himself through him. Which is
crazy.
I take the music though. It's kind of a negative for me for this one. Yeah,
I knew Keith was going to say that.
Yeah,
I knew Keith was going to say that.
No, well, I don't think it really fits. I don't know. It fits, and it's a little bit like
it's too obvious.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. They're gonna do this for every one of his movies now.
Yes,
But
awesome.
I don't know. Jordan Peele didn't direct this.
You tell me I got 5 on it for Us wasn't good.
No, that was great.
Yeah, okay.
That was great. But that song is actually in the movie. That's a scene from the movie. It's they're listening to it in the car, and they just incorporated it into the trailer as well, which I thought was great. This one's a little, like you said, a little obvious, very on the nose. Right, Destiny's Child, say my name. I was like, all right, fine. It's not it's just a little nitpicky, I guess. But
It's like when Happy Death Day uses
50 Cent. Yeah, right.
Don't get me started on that. They do that in the trailer, but it's not in the movie.
Not in the movie at all. That's what I'm saying. Right.
Honestly, that really actually genuinely made me upset.
Yeah.
That was her ringtone in the trailer.
Right.
But it's
not in the movie at all.
In the movie, and it fits so perfectly.
I know.
I don't know how they got the rights to put it in the trailer, but they couldn't get the rights to put the song in the movie. Maybe it was more expensive to do it that way. Yeah, that's crazy. So Keith, what do you want to talk about out of these news stories?
Well, I'm certainly intrigued by this Creed 3 story. I kind of have two, because first one, Creed 3, if we can, really quick. I'm kind of surprised and not surprised that they're doing a third one. They certainly could have stopped with this last one. Absolutely. But this new writer, what's his name here? Sorry, Zach Balin. I guess he's got an interesting idea. I'm sure that.
I'm sure it wasn't really hard to be like, hey, I want to make another Creed.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, the second one made. Let's see, quite a lot. I just had it right here. Creed 2, 214 million worldwide.
That's it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not. These are not the Rocky movies. Have never been any boxing movie. They're never huge, massively huge box office blockbusters. So
I don't think the budgets are.
That's what I was just about to say. That, yeah,
the budgets aren't that big.
Right. So, and we've got 8 movies in this franchise, so they make. You know what I'm saying? So this will be clearly the one where Rocky does die. That's what we keep expecting in all the Creed movies. Where if he,
already dead when
maybe
he'll be in it.
No, Stallone. That's part of the selling point is putting Stallone in it. So I'm definitely interested in that. I'm glad they're doing a third one. I'm just curious whose son is he going to be fighting now? Do we think? I don't know. It's all his own son.
Hey, you know who plays him? Oh, you're talking about Creed fighting his own son?
Yes.
I was thinking of Creed fighting Rocky's son, even though
his
son's not a boxer.
Yeah.
And you know the actor who plays him?
Milo Ventimiglia. Yeah. From Gilmore. Gilmore Girls, but he's obviously what's it called?
Us.
Right? This is us. This is
us.
This is
us.
Yeah.
This is us. Yeah. I have Jordan Peele on the mind.
All I think of is that picture of him, that dog movie that he did, where he's just sitting on the side of his car.
Oh,
and the dog,
yeah.
I think of the name of it.
I know what you're talking about. No, he is from Heroes. That's what he's from.
He was in Heroes.
The Heroes.
That's
show.
right.
That's what I know him.
I forgot about
Heroes season 1 is incredible.
It's pretty good.
Incredible. Well, I want to talk about James Mangold.
Yes, that was my other one.
Directing
Good. All right.
Indiana Jones 5. Now, I have said Indiana Jones is not my favorite franchise, but I love those movies, especially the first one. I really love the first one. I think it's awesome. And
Jacob loves Crystal Skull too.
No, I do not. I've only seen it once, and I do not love it. But James Mangold is my favorite director working today. Before I saw Ford v Ferrari, I said he was the best director in Hollywood, and that just solidified that statement for me. And it's all subjective. We all have our favorites, but the thing is, without being the biggest Indiana Jones fan in the world, and considering Crystal Skull, I wasn't too excited about Indiana Jones 5, to be honest. It wasn't at the top of my radar. It probably wouldn't have been in my top 5 most anticipated the year it's coming out, whatever. But with Mangold attached, that changes everything. When we
saw this, we all went, "Oh, here goes Jacob."
That changes everything.
I'm with you though. I'm with you on that.
You have Harrison Ford coming back, and whatever story you're going to tell, it's most likely going to be Harrison Ford's last movie. Who knows? Maybe they do another one 10 years from now. But I just trust Mangold so much, and what he can do. We've seen him handle an iconic character who's aging,
right?
And we've seen him do a bunch of stuff. And you give Mangold this with all the mythology and the character and all the stuff you can do with it, the adventure feel, and it can't just be Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones. There's gonna be some younger actors in the movie. Nothing against him, but there has to be action, right? And he's how old is he? 80 now?
75.
So
I think 74,
even if
75.
Harrison Ford could do the physical parts. It's going to be a stunt double either way, but it's not believable on screen if an 80-year-old man's running on top of a train or something, you know? So there will be younger actors. So they can go anywhere with this. They're probably not going to bring Shia LaBeouf back, but this excites me so much because it takes a franchise that maybe I'm not too excited about and just elevates it to another level for me. So I'm stoked.
I want, after all of how long we heard Chris Pratt's going to take over Harrison Ford's role as Indiana Jones, I want Chris Pratt to be in this, but be either like
a new character,
like almost like some guy that's trying to be like Indiana Jones and like do something like that, or be the bad guy where he's like, I just want to see, so because I will never, as long as I live, think of Harrison Ford when he said, "No one's ever playing Indiana Jones as long as I'm alive," and he didn't even know who like Chris Pratt was, and I would love to see the guy that everyone expected to take over this franchise be like the bad guy against Harrison Ford or something like that. But Mangold, I mean, he doesn't make crap, so I mean,
all his movies are good.
Yeah, so
all of them.
If you're gonna throw out a name, that's a name that entices me a lot more than someone we don't know. Or to be honest, even Steven Spielberg, like doing another one, I'd just kind of be like, okay,
yeah.
Like, but a name that's dropping Ford v Ferrari, Logan, like stuff like that, then I'm gonna be like, okay, you can go ahead and do what you want.
That 100%. I was very like, all right, another Indiana Jones. We're talking about one of for me, for a long time, my favorite movie trilogy. And yes, trilogy. I'm stopping at Last Crusade. That's it. Crystal Skull. We talked about it. We've talked about it last few weeks a couple times. Look, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's not a good movie.
Yeah,
not a good movie. But with that said, yeah, one of the biggest iconic characters ever. So, but even with this announcement of this one, they're making another one. I'm just like, why are you? James Mangold getting on board with this. I'm 100% in. 100%. I don't even, whatever's happening. We've been having this kind of thing with Mangold versus Denis Villeneuve. To me, they're neck and neck. Honestly, they're both. Any given day, I could go right with you and say, no, he's the best director out there right now. Like I said, he hasn't made neither one of them has made a bad movie. Their movies aren't even like I said this about Villeneuve, but I could say about Mangold as well. They're not even just like okay. They're all great, great right, and up.
I don't hate this movie, but
Jake's gonna reach through the screen and choke you if you say Blade.
No, I'm not talking about Denis Villeneuve. I'm talking about
Ford v Ferrari. You hate Ford v Ferrari?
No.
No, okay.
Kate and Leopold.
It's not the greatest movie. Oh, it's very good. I like that movie.
It's okay. I like it.
Yeah.
I do like it, but it's.
I know what you mean.
It's not one of his best. It's not a bad movie.
I know what you mean.
You said neither of them have made a bad movie, so that's probably correct. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's a good movie, and that you just start there, and then it goes up from there for both
Walk
those
the
guys.
Line is amazing.
Goodness gracious, and I keep forgetting he directed that too.
Yeah.
But
it was a while ago, but still, he directed that.
3:10 to I saw 3:10 to Yuma like in the last year or two. Because for whatever reason I'd never seen it. That movie's so great. It's such a good movie. Hugh Jackman's going to be in Indiana Jones. He's going to be the new guy. That's his guy. So Hugh Jackman is going to be cast as breaking it here as the next. No, it'd be cool for him to be in it. He'd be a great villain.
As the villain.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That would be amazing.
I would love that because they're pretty tight.
Has he played a villain?
What's the robot movie? With the robot.
This was a Chappie.
Chappie.
That was.
Is he the villain in that?
Oh yeah.
This was literally a Schmodown question the other day. So I was like, I know this one. I know this answer this time. I know it.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that one. There's another one. The Peter Pan one too. He played not Captain Hook, but like Blackbeard or whatever.
You're right. He did play. Yeah. So he has played a villain.
So a couple times. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
but to be
talking about both of those.
We have Storm Shadow in the chat room.
Hello?
Storm Shadow, what's up?
Storm Shadow, they leave great comments.
Yeah.
Storm Shadow said, "Don't care for Indiana Jones 5, but if done correctly." So
sure,
right.
It will be done correctly. Don't worry.
With James Mangold attached,
it will be done correctly.
And nothing against Steven Spielberg. He's probably pound for pound like the greatest
ever
movie director of all time. Sure. It's just you can't. It's hard to argue that.
Right.
But I think coming off Crystal Skull and he's still a great director. The Post is
really good.
That was recent. So I want to see him do new original stuff. I would love for someone new, and I bet you James Mangold is a huge Indiana Jones fan. If he's doing this, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, you have to have some cojones to make sure if you're gonna step in Indiana Jones, you better know.
Spielberg did all 4, right?
Yeah.
So literally, no one has ever, other than him, has directed an Indiana Jones film.
And we haven't had. This will be the first one without Lucas involved as well, George Lucas. Because a lot of what I hate to say, but I mean, a lot of what's wrong with the last one was George Lucas. So. We'll see. Yeah. But this one, Mangold, 100%. We're on board. So.
Absolutely. I feel like everyone was kind of like, oh, they're doing a 5th one, right. And then it was.
And now this kind of
right.
changed the narrative.
Exactly.
So what do you guys? Do you guys think Bob Iger stepping down as Disney CEO is a big deal? Of course, it's a big deal in the broader sense. But do you think, as far as movies go, do you think it makes a big impact?
Depends on what the new guy is planning on doing and how his thought process is. I mean, Bob Iger, for the most part, seemed like he made moves knowing he wanted to do something. Like, I'm sure he was very much into making sure the Fox deal went down and stuff like that. So
he wanted to convince Lucas to sell Lucasfilm to.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm more like how quickly things seem to have. Like, I'm sure this was.
Oh, this was
coming,
probably
But it just kind of was almost just seemed like, okay, he's gone. Goodbye. Here's the new guy, and then it just kind of moved on.
Well, apparently he's still. No, this was all. He always said he was. I think he said a few months back, or maybe a year, fairly recently, that he was not going to renew his contract past 2021.
Sure
so
Disney aged him for the amount of stuff he's done in the last
maybe
10 years.
But his successor. It's probably been a couple of months.
Oh, it's probably been planned.
And, well in advance.
Yeah, and I do think obviously getting Marvel, getting Star Wars, and then finishing this Fox deal. I think he was planning, once I get this Fox deal done officially,
that's it.
I'm out. And that's his legacy.
Well, everything that they've acquired. I mean, remember ABC, ESPN, they acquired them. Marvel Entertainment, like you said, Lucasfilm, Hulu, and launching Disney Plus. And then
that's his legacy, and he deserves to be credited so much. But I don't know if it changes the movies that much. I think it changes Disney as a company probably a lot. But do you guys really see a drastic change in what we're going to see from the films? I mean, I guess there's no way to know, right? Because we don't know what this Bob
it sounds like his
plan is.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything about him.
It sounds like he's Iger is still going to stay on in kind of a more creative role for at least the rest of this year.
Yeah.
Because the contract ends in 2021. So, and who knows beyond that? From what I hear from the other guy, what's his name again? Sorry.
Bob Chapek.
Bob Chapek. Apparently, he's pretty frugal from what I understand. So, I don't know if that's good or bad. To be honest, it might be a little penny pinching for them. And now, at what level will that be? Will that creep all the way down into like actual production? Or, maybe he's a little bit tighter with just more like acquiring. I don't know how much more there is for them to acquire, but
I don't really think the government would let them acquire much more at this point.
Maybe not. But hopefully it doesn't mean they're not willing to more kind of branch out, take more chances creatively with their film production and what they're doing on television as well, as far as the streaming on Disney Plus and stuff, and like you said, Hulu, like you said. So I guess, I don't know, remains to be seen, I guess.
Yeah, so. I don't think there's any real way to tell. I do think it's going to be business as usual for Disney for the most part. We might see a big change eventually. maybe a change at Lucasfilm, maybe a change if Kevin Feige ever leaves Marvel, it's going to be on because he wants to.
Yeah,
I think
he's
so.
never going to be asked to be moved from that. And who knows? We've talked about Kevin Feige going on to do Star Wars, so maybe we'll see some of those changes come quicker.
Well, they gave him a new title. He got that new title at Marvel.
He's
So
president of all Marvel Entertainment, not just Marvel Studios.
I wonder how much of that is the new guy.
He controls the comics.
Right. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And television is right.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So regarding Jurassic World 3, you can't really tell much from.
What was the title?
Dominion.
Literally, you saying was the first I heard of it.
Really, I'm pretty sure that's the title.
I saw the poster. I saw the little the logo for it.
Yeah, Dominion.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's not really much to tell from a title, right?
Yeah.
It's or depending on what the title is. Like if you Rise of Skywalker, you could speculate on that title, right? How can you speculate on the title Dominion? Well, Dominion means sovereignty or control, or the territory of a sovereign or government.
The dinosaurs are going to take over.
I think taking the dictionary definition, unless there's something in Jurassic Park mythology named Dominion, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's in the novels or something that we don't even know about. I don't know much about the lore outside the movies, but I do think it's a cool title. I'm glad it's not Rise of the Dinosaurs or something, or
Rise of the Raptors.
Yeah, something like that. Rise of the Raptors, or
the new one. What are the new ones they kept making? What's the new one they made? And
wasn't it Lost Kingdom or Last?
Oh,
no, what was the new dinosaur they made?
The new dinosaur that they made in the first Jurassic World.
Yeah, whatever.
I forget, but I think it's a cool title. I think.
Yeah.
I think that we are going to see monster or dinosaurs running around. Is Jurassic Park a monster movie?
Jake said
yes.
That's a good question.
Yes.
Jake was like,
totally.
Because I asked him that one.
Actually, that
100%.
might be my favorite monster movie, to be honest.
Yeah, now I think about it. Yeah, maybe mine too, to be honest.
If we're counting Jurassic Park as a monster movie, then it's probably number one, I would say. Yeah. I would have to say. But I'm excited about this because
he also picked Jaws.
We have Colin Trevorrow returning.
Good call.
Which
he is, isn't he?
I liked Jurassic World. I didn't love it. It's not great, but I did not like Fallen Kingdom that much. And it's not a bad movie. It was very weird. Like the auction and all that stuff. It was very weird. So I'm excited to see Colin Trevorrow continue. This is kind of like J.J. Abrams coming back for episode 9 in a way. It almost is. And I do think it's going to be cool. Have any of you seen that short film that they released? So they released a short film a while ago.
I remember hearing about it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either. I was curious if you guys have seen it. But yeah, you can't tell much from that title, but that's basically what it is. Well, we have you haven't seen what, and we have no comments this week. So that's basically that's basically going to wrap up the show. Before we go, I do want to tell you guys about our other shows. If you have not checked out the Padawan Podcast or Nerd Nation or Casting Table, please go ahead and check those out. Our next casting table is going to be on Batgirl. We choose a character and we cast the actor or actress that we want to play that character. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah, you guys voted for Batgirl.
Yes, you guys did.
Good call.
And yeah, so we'll be doing that real soon. And also check out Padawan and Nerd Nation. They are weekly, and the casting table is bi-weekly. And please, please, please leave comments in the comment section of any of our videos that you watch, especially this show and our main shows. Leave comments in the comment section, and we will read them live on Apocaflix Now. If you want to, you can ask us questions. You can just make a big comment. So we would really appreciate that. And before we go, Gio Ramos in the chat, our biggest fan, Gio Ramos.
Yes, sir.
Where you been at, Gio? Hope you're feeling better, man.
Get better, buddy.
So he said they're bringing back Sam Neill and Laura Dern for
Jurassic
World Dominion. Any chance Vince Vaughn returns? We could talk about that real quick. That's really cool that they're coming back.
That's fine. I forgot he was in. Yeah.
And Laura Dern is killing it right now in her career. So to come back in this, it's not like she's one of those actresses who disappeared and now she's coming to do this. She's big time.
Yeah, she's
winning awards.
Right.
Is going to do this. So
I don't think Vince Vaughn's going to return though.
Sorry, Gio. When was the last time
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind.
Him in a while. Didn't he make that prison movie, and then that basically went straight to DVD?
Well, he's in the wrestling one with Florence Pugh.
Oh, that's right. That's true. Fighting with my family.
Yeah. So he's still kind of
Jeff Goldblum to come back and have a big role,
isn't he? Was he in the last one?
I think
he was in the last one, right?
He was at the very end. No. He was in the beginning when he was at the.
He's in some kind of trial or not trial, but
in the courtrooms.
Yeah.
I want him to come back. Maybe all three of them have a bigger role.
Everyone's coming back.
Chaos theory.
We'll see.
But no.
I want
you know what? I'm not
dinosaurs on battlefields with tanks and jets and airplanes. Let's do it.
Oh,
Give
God.
us everything.
I'm not big
with Chris Pratt riding a T-Rex into war.
He would ride a raptor.
Let's do it.
He would ride a raptor.
Did he ride any of them in the last one?
All right. Now we are officially ending the show.
Thank you, Gio.
Thank everybody for watching. We truly, truly appreciate it. And again, please leave a comment in the comment section of all of our shows. We would love to chat with you guys. Again, that is Keith Barnes over there in the far left. That is Brian Avalosino.
That's you.
In the middle.
You're Brian.
I am Jacob Bartley, your host. Thank you for watching, and we will see you all next time.